Hello, how are you guys doing? I thought I would start a mini series that is kind of unnamed yet. By the time you see this video, it will have some sort of name. And I thought I would pick a game and I would kind of go through what it's meant to me or like what it's changed in my life, because there's been a lot of video games that have started me down a path, or that have, been the infrastructure for something later in life. And I just thought I would sit down and talk about it. And of course, I had to start all the way at the beginning if I was going to do a mini series like this. So I started all the way at Team Fortress 2, alright? Let me take you back 7 years or so, alright? To when I was a much younger person. My brother played this game a lot. This was back when you couldn't even upgrade dispensers or anything. Like, this was Team Fortress 2 a long time ago. It came out in 2007, and I'm talking like 2010-ish, 2009. Anyways, he played this game all the time, and I get up in the morning before school, right? And I'd watch him play and whatnot, and that was so much fun. That was so cool to me. After a while, I'd play and whatnot, and when I finally got my own computer, I made my own Steam account. And him and I, we sat there for a long time. He helped me come up with like a name and whatnot. My name at the time was Fight and Flight, which is why you'll notice the YouTube channel is named after that as well. It is now not that. It is Frank E. Jr. now, and I'll tell you that story in a little bit. Anyways, this was the game I wanted to play. This was like my end goal for life at the time. I get up in the morning, I would play this game. I'd go to school, I'd come home, I'd play this game. It was so much fun, and I met so many really cool people to play with. That's part of the enjoyment, when you meet really cool people that play with you. Anyways, that happened, right? And I used to get bullied a lot on this game, actually. Being a younger person playing this. Obviously, people that were older that played it, they don't like little kids, right? And I was always trying to be really friendly and whatnot. It didn't always work out in my favor, though, alright? And I remember my brother had a friend, and he was also my friend on Steam. His name was Frank E, alright? And I played with him all the time. This guy was a god of gaming. His sniper was nothing short of, it was borderline magical to watch him. It really was. He was such a fantastic TF2 player. And I remember I was getting picked on one time when he messaged me. He said, "Hey, change your name to Frankie Jr. and I'll pretend to be your dad, and they'll stop making fun of you." And that was probably 5 years ago, and it hasn't changed since. I haven't talked to Frankie in a long time. I don't even think he has a Steam account anymore. He's kind of moved on with his life, I think, which is a real shame, because I'd like to talk to him now. Being older and whatnot, and just sort of thank him and be like, "Hey, that was a really cool thing you did for me. I'm very happy and very blessed to have that opportunity." But anyways, this game, I've put more hours in this game than Call of Duty. And for those that don't know me, I'm a competitive professional Call of Duty player. It's what I do. I'm the defending champion right now in the singles ladder on MLG. So, Call of Duty is what I do, and I've put more hours in this, almost 3 times as many hours into this as I have Call of Duty. That should just give you a little estimate as to how many hours I put into this game. This was like my life. I got my friends at school to play this with me and whatnot. It was so much fun. And this was back when the game was a lot simpler. It didn't have all the extra upgrades and all that sort of stuff. They didn't have the crates and all that. I remember the coolest thing I ever got. Right, I really wanted the Golden Wrench. Of course, everyone did. There was only 100 of them ever in existence, though. For those that don't know the TF2 lore, oh, that guy's dumb. Anyways, they gave out these Golden Wrenches, right? They gave out 100 of them to random people. And of course, I didn't get one. I looked at the list not too long ago. I think I mentioned it on stream, actually. It looks like a few of those people got VAC banned, which is like the protection against cheating that runs on Valve games, and a lot of people melted them down for charity. They did a charity drive, and if you melted down your Golden Wrench, then you would, they would donate a certain amount of money for you. And a lot of people did that, and I think that's a very honorable thing. I probably wouldn't have done it, if I'm being honest. I'm selfish. I thought that Golden Wrench was the coolest thing ever. You couldn't trade it or anything. It was just a golden wrench. When you killed someone, they turned golden and whatnot. Kind of like the spy when you stab him in the back, except gold. I remember the coolest thing I ever got though was the beard, the camera beard. That it came out. That was like the coolest thing ever for the spy. In fact, I think I still have it on my class. I do. The vintage camera beard. I had 2 of these. I think I gave one to my brother or traded it away or something like that. But that was so cool. That was like the coolest thing to me, right? Oh, but wait a minute. You're not on my team. Anyways, continuing on with the lore. Oh, Jesus. Wow, that was humiliating. I remember I had a friend, Dakota. You guys may or may not know him. I used to, a long time ago. This was a long time ago. I know a lot of people have joined recently. A long time ago, I used to play with him. And we would try to do all the achievements and everything. And it really was, this game really is what started a lot of actually my competitive career as well. This was a game that I wanted to go play competitively. I stopped for a couple reasons. Not, I could, and I know my brother played on a team. I think Frank E actually played on a team too. So it was kind of a natural progression, I guess, to play this game competitively. 2 reasons. One, at the time, I thought about, there's not a whole lot of money winnings in it. Not that really matters a whole lot. The second thing, and I guess I didn't really notice that up until just kind of thinking about that for this episode here. Oh, let me run away. I didn't want to ruin the fun of this game. This game always holds such a nostalgia in my heart, and it's not all about your KD or all that. I didn't want to ruin it with the normal competitive stuff, right? When you play competitively, it tends sometimes to take the fun out of the game. I'm gonna die here. It tends to take the fun out of the game, right? Because it doesn't matter if I want to play, I have to play, right? Every day you can't play an hour. It's 6 hours a day. That's what you have to do to be the best at a game. And I didn't want to do that. I did for a little while. I think a couple summers ago I thought, all right, I'm doing Call of Duty and TF2. This is what I'm doing. And I got a little ways into it, and it just wasn't for me. It ruined the fun of this game, and I didn't play this game for months afterwards. And it's only just now that I'm sitting here, it's like, you know what? Let's play this again. And oh god. I like to play this game on stream a lot. I don't usually go in and, play it in my spare time. Although I have, there's only so much you can do, right, when you put so many hours into a game. I like to play it on stream. I like to play with other people. It's a really good facilitator of conversation and all that, friendship and whatnot. It's a really great game for that. It really is. For people that are just getting into their first PC games, I highly suggest this one. You're not going to be judged on your KD and all that sort of crap. That's not what it doesn't matter how many points you get. It doesn't really matter your win or loss. Although some people take it super duper seriously. It's about having fun and whatnot, and that's oh god, it's a really great thing, I think. It doesn't matter how many times you dominate. There's not really a whole lot of trash talkers either. Everyone just kind of sits here and plays their game, and that is so cool to me. Oh, this is not gonna go well. Can I get it? I got the dispenser at least. Anyways, this game, like I said, it really kind of started my competitive career when I decided to do competitive gaming. And that was a really cool thing, and it never gets boring. I'll reiterate, I usually, gosh darn it, these 2 fuckers right here. I usually don't play it like, maybe I'll have Netflix on and I'll sit down and it is a really good chill game. Unfortunately, I'm not afforded to play it all the time with my busy schedule and having fit Call of Duty inside of that busy schedule. That's not a good thing, even though now that I think about it, really being the summertime, it's a lot easier, of course, but come school time, you've only got from 2:30 to 9 o'clock, right, and most of that has to be taken up with Call of Duty, unfortunately, which is a real shame. Anyways, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know down below if you like these. I'd love to do them for other games, because this is not the only game like this, although this one is probably the one that holds dearest in my heart. Let me finish up my thought, though. I just remembered this. For those that are just getting into PC gaming, I highly suggest this. It doesn't take a whole lot for you to start on, right? It's a very simple game for your computer to run. You don't need some godly computer to run this game. So I highly suggest this game. Like I said, there's no one that's really going to be judging you or anything. No one's looking at your KD or anything like that. And there's not a whole bunch of trash talkers or squeakers or anything like that that are going to get on your nerves. It's just a good time. And maybe you can, oh, look at this. This, now, you used to not be able to pick up things either. That's a recently new feature as well. Anyways, boys and girls, I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your time today. Again, let me know if you want me to do this with other games, because I having a lot of fun with it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you guys next time.